What happens when the emotion that you experience at any point in life is stronger than your capacity to be present with? So an emotion generally rises up, it's very, very intense. And then on its own, if left to its own devices and if we're not in our own way, it will resolve and come to some kind of resting point. But when that emotion is greater than our resilience, then they often get stuck. We jump off that wave at some point. We're not able to bear witness, and it's that energy of the emotion that's unresolved that gets trapped in our body and can contribute to all sorts of health troubles. In fact, most chronic health troubles have at least some degree of suppressed emotions that need to be worked on in order to remove the barrier for the body and mind to come into balance. So if we're experiencing some kind of contact with what we determine is a suppressed emotion, then how are we to deal with that? So this is the process that I have found most effective. Step one is learn to still the mind, learn to be present, because all of this material is in the subconscious. So as I'm sitting here talking to you, I can't simultaneously be tuning into, the deepest levels of what I might be suppressing in my gut, let's say. Those two things are not congruent. So once you can still your mind and be present enough to then begin the process of inner listening. So what does that mean? That means you come in contact with something that feels tight physically, and you hang out with it as though you're just getting to know it without an agenda to relax it. How do we do that? What does that actually look like? I'm going to explain it to you step by step. So I'm sitting, my eyes are closed, I've taken 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes, sometimes longer, to really get quiet from my day. And then I focus through my body, gradually scanning, and I choose to focus wherever these sensations that I feel are greatest. And then within that, I'm watching, I'm feeling, I'm allowing, and I'm seeing what arises. Are there memories? Are there certain emotions that arise? People often get little snippets of things that you don't need to make sense with in your mind. You just have to be with it. And then let's clarify another philosophical point about how do you be with something? Because actually, most people don't know how to do this when they're starting. We develop something called witness consciousness. So there's a part of us that's watching the rest of what's going on. We're not split off, we're not separate, but there's a healthy adult part, a part of us that's in our strength, a part of us that knows how to call additional resources. I like to use a spiritual approach, call on the power of the earth to support us and any kind of higher power that you can relate to, because our adult self needs support in dealing with this, let's say in many cases, child self that was very hurt in some fashion or another. So if we're going to bear witness to that without letting it wash us over, we need to have some anchor, some support. And when you're well rooted in that healthy adult self, and then you begin to allow these feelings to arise, the idea there is that you're offering that part of you that is hurting presence and radiant warmth and support. You're offering yourself the kind of nurturing that you would have needed when that event happened in order to let this wave rise and resolve so that it wouldn't become repressed. But nobody can do this work except for you. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm so passionate about, is teaching people how to do this for themselves. Because I have seen that when people learn how to get well rooted in their healthy adult self, how to bear witness to the pain that's held, as they uncover it through sensations in the body, the rest of the symptoms are standing on these unmet needs that are within us and in this suppressed emotional material. And when that need is met with warmth, with compassion, with love and presence, there's nowhere for the rest to stand on. That obstacle is removed. And it isn't like poof. I'm not going to give you any false promises. It is a long process to heal from anything that has been chronic. However, you have a process and it keeps unfolding when you have these tools of how to be with yourself in this way.